Laziness lesson. Matthew 25, verse 14 to 30. Again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and entrusted his money to them while he was gone. He gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing it in proportion to their abilities. He then left on his trip. The servant who received the 5 bags of silver began to invest the money and earned 5 more. The servant with 2 bags of silver also went to work and earned 2 more. But the servant who received the 1 bag of silver dug a hole in the ground and hid the master's money. After a long time, their master returned from his trip and called them to give an account of how they had used his money. The servant to whom he had entrusted the 5 bags of silver came forward with 5 more and said, "Master, you gave me 5 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 5 more." The master was full of praise. "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." The servant who had received the 2 bags of silver came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 2 more." The master said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." Then the servant with the 1 bag of silver came and said, "Master, I knew you were a harsh man, harvesting crops you didn't plant and gathering crops you didn't cultivate. I was afraid I would lose your money, so I hid it in the earth. Look, here is your money back." But the master replied, "You wicked and lazy servant. If you knew I harvested crops I didn't plant and gathered crops I didn't cultivate, why didn't you deposit my money in the bank? At least I could have gotten some interest on it." Then he ordered, "Take the money from this servant and give it to the one with the 10 bags of silver. To those who use well what they are given, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from those who do nothing, even what little they have will be taken away. Now throw this useless servant into outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." Questions and answers. 1. How does Elohim give us gifts? Answer is that he gives us gifts in proportion to our abilities. 2. What are some of the gifts or talents Elohim has given his children? Let us look at some gifts Elohim has given to us. Romans 12, verse 6 to 8. In his grace, Elohim has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if Elohim has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as Elohim has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If Elohim has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. 1 Corinthians 4-11. There are different kinds of spiritual gifts, but the same Spirit is the source of them all. There are different kinds of service, but we serve the same Master. Elohim works in different ways, but it is the same Elohim who does the work in all of us. A spiritual gift is given to each of us so we can help each other. To one person, the Spirit gives the ability to give wise advice. To another, the same Spirit gives a message of special knowledge. The same Spirit gives great faith to another, and to someone else, the one Spirit gives the gift of healing. He gives one person the power to perform miracles, and another the ability to prophesy. He gives someone else the ability to discern whether a message is from the Spirit of Elohim or from another spirit. Still another person is given the ability to speak in unknown languages, while another is given the ability to interpret what is being said. It is the one and only Spirit who distributes all these gifts. He alone decides which gift each person should have. 3. What does Elohim want us to do with the gifts and blessings he has given to us? Elohim wants us to use them well to serve on another in love. Romans 12, verse 9-11. Don't just pretend to love others. Really love them. Hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. Love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. Never be lazy, but work hard and serve the Master enthusiastically. 4. Does Elohim love laziness? No, as we can see with the story, the lazy servant was thrown out. We live for Elohim and are here to reconcile others to him using the abilities and wisdom he has shared with us. Laziness is not from Elohim. Elohim is always working, and so should we. John 5 verse 17. But Emmanuel replied, "My Father is always working, and so am I." What else has Elohim said about the lazy? Proverbs 10 verse 4. Lazy people are soon poor, hard workers get rich. Proverbs 12 verse 24. Work hard and become a leader. Be lazy and become a slave. Proverbs 13 verse 4. Lazy people want much but get little, but those who work hard will prosper. Proverbs 18 verse 9. A lazy person is as bad as someone who destroys things. Proverbs 21 verse 25. Despite their desires, the lazy will come to ruin, for their hands refuse to work. 6. What will happen to the lazy people who don't use their gifts well? Answer is because they are scared to use the gifts and abilities given to them to share Elohim's light, or to bless and serve others. Their lives bear no fruit and are therefore useless to Elohim. Matthew 5 verse 13. You are the salt of the earth. But what good is salt if it has lost its flavor? Can you make it salty again? It will be thrown out and trampled underfoot as worthless. Based on this story, do you think being lazy is the best way to live? Now I want you to think about something that you are good at. How can you use that to serve Elohim and others well, all for his glory?